people? How's it going on this fine Saturday? Tell you what, it's noon in Japan right now and it's about 34 degrees at Celsius in my house right now. Hot. But anyway, we'll see how long I can stand the heat while streaming a little bit of Shadowrun. Still investigating this murder in Whampoan Garden. Also kind of want to go back to the main area to buy some tech for my rigger. But it is what it is. Oof. Can't believe how hot it is. All right. Forgot what I was supposed to be doing. The key to Magpie's shop. That you guys can see. Right. It says an imposing troll stands in front of a stall, overflowing with weapons of all sorts, pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles. Flow into the rug around him. Oh there, you look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Break away at your service. And I can promise you, I can help you defend yourself. You say, want to take a look? More interested in information. Yeah, tell me what you want. Maybe I can help you out. Know anything about the murders? I want to see about Magpie. Never met her, thank God. She ran with the Deckers mostly. And she dealt in chips and software. I heard she was hard to work with. I think the phrase I overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know. You should ask Zippy. He's a sharp one with the deck, so he'd know her better than most. Aside from Tong, who else slings BTLs around here? The Red Spear Gang. They run up in here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Got the parking garage south of here, though. They usually hole up in there. Step light, though. If they don't know you and you cop an attitude, they'll put you in the ground. Anything, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly. But everybody was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let the Hong Kong police force in here. Most times we shoot at him. Just that elders have been getting hacked apart. I tried to stay away from it all. No sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? The troll shrugs indifferently. I'm nobody important, and I aim to keep it that way. What are your impressions of the Whampoan elders? Can't say I associate much with them. They organize big trade deals with the Loho Jawa pirates, triads, and legitimate businesses. They tell us if somebody's been blacklisted and dispense justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm just not important enough to register on their radar. See you later. No more information. There's this guy over here. The man in front of this stall is rooting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Can you believe this? They got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60. The unreleased Enoch Ian Keys double chip show from the Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This stall stuff is purely second rate. You're right, that does suck. Shotgun Bloom's one of the best bands I've heard in years. Easy. Wow, is Duncan into music? The music aficionado nods enthusiastically. Your friend gets it. Real talent, that crew. Like nothing I've ever heard before. The Decker inclines his head politely toward you. Mo Janebe at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. You're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. Not Whampoa Garden, no. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain out of it. I thought so. What brings you out here? Trying to find out who's been killing the elders. The Decker pauses a moment. Face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? What's your area of expertise? I'm a Decker. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on their servers, smearing the little cyber pukes that would try to get into our secure systems. I made a pretty good living. Had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of thing the Sims teach you. I think I might know why. Anyway, I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company's security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some project or other being over budget and behind schedule. It's not good. It'd be a fireball offense, right? It'd be a fireball offense, right? I swear my eyes are getting worse. Mo purses his lips, his gaze going distant for a moment. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired the guy with a .308 round. Right through the skull. That seems drastic. It may have been fractions of a point, but that was still tens of millions of nuyen. I guess that went beyond a firing offense, directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now knew about both the project and the murder, I could be the next in the firing line. I knew I wasn't worth the expense to hunt down, as long as I kept my head down. So I came out here looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I could get a semblance of community out here, and I couldn't get that many other places. What can you tell me about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important. And all that talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I don't want to get their attention either. All I know is that a couple of months ago we had Elders Nakamura, Yetunde, Gan, and Magpie. And now we don't. I've heard about Magpie. It sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewdest old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with the other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tong over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jack Point. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anybody willing to pay her rates. It cost them plenty of nuyen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. Want to know more about her? You should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You could probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steam bun cart over there. Alright, we're gonna go by the MTR station. What can you tell me about the Whampoans? We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds, and tech junkies. This place may look like a third world bazaar, but believe me, we have stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo swells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as the stuff the megas have in their development. In their development labs, but it's as advanced as anything you can find in a store. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here and work out deals for big shipments. We've got contracts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone knows. And every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zones knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, nobody wants to lose what we're selling. The Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased him out. Mo gestures with both hands as if shooing away a bothersome insect. Cleared off back to Mohan Tin, and they've never been back. Good for you, that's how to survive. It's all about playing the angles. Yeah, it pissed them off. But then we sold goods to the Yellow Lotus at a discount. In exchange, the Yellow Lotus kept them off our back. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him... Oh, man. I see what's going on. We gotta go near the station. And possibly the parking garage. Oh, there's Zippy. Oh, I talked to Zippy already. Okay, again, how can I help you? I'll see you later, Zippy. Yeah, I thought I talked to him already. Guess I missed my chance to get the key. I'll look at what he has. Like the fist. I guess the only thing else we got is the parking garage. See what Keita's talking about. Welcome back to Keita's One Yin Yatai. What can I help you for? Ah, yeah. Let's go check out the parking garage then. Looks like some bad guys up ahead. Red Spear Ganger. That's far enough, guy. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod toward the gangers behind her. This lot's our turf. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You try and wander around on our turf, we're gonna have to air you out. What do you say? You looking for a little pick-me-up? A little nitro to give you some pep? Maybe you want some chips. Take that edge off. You want it? I got it. Show me what you have. Basically drugs. Bliss, a tranquilizing narcotic. Incoming damage is reduced by 4 or 5 rounds. Combat. Strength is reduced by 1. Jazz, a combat stim that adds +2 quickness and +1 AP for 5 rounds, popular with mercenary groups and high-end bodyguards. I don't have that much money, so And some of these BTLs just only look an awful like they came from Tong's shop. Yeah, so what? Why do you care? Must have gotten them recently. How do you know Tong was dead? Ah. So if you stole these from Tong's, maybe you saw something I can use in my investigation. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's like this. Broken Thumb Ewan was walking down the street and sees this guy going to Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy, hunched over, had this shitty gray rain poncho draped over him. Now Ewan figured out that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures the guy will come out soon because Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out hustling down the street with nobody saying boo. I figure he was waiting for an ebb in the crowds. You see some blood smeared on the floor though. So he goes to check it out. Inside, total carnage. You know what? Tong's not going to be using his gear anymore. So what the hell with it. Ewan jacks a lot of it. Business is business. You're damn right it is. That's all I know. The guy had to be a killer. Tall, gray rain poncho, hunched over, also smart about how he came and went. When I look around this garage, let me ask about the fight. What happened in the fight here? As far as I know, the police showed up looking for somebody. They got in here, all of them got killed. Whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Whampoans living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. Have you heard anything else about the murders? Nothing much. I'll tell you what, though. I've got a guy named Kong, and he was down in the storm drain system last week. Something was moving down there. Big too, man size. But it wasn't speaking any language Kong understood. Kid beat back. Back here as fast as he could. Sorry. Dumbass dropped his storm drain key on the way out. Though, you want to go looking for whatever it was, you have to get a new key from somebody else. Kong stole his from a city worker. Who else might have a key to the storm drains? There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Ewan also mentioned some elf woman with crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. Man, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No, you goddamn well can't wander around our turf. The ganger shakes her head, mumbling something about idiots with no memory. Yeah, that's what I thought. They want to fight. Did I back out? gonna load because I didn't want to fight these guys. I'm going to... Hopefully I don't have to do too much of it all over again. Could be locked into this fight already though. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I gotta do all this again, so let's see. I'm just gonna go through all these things. We already talked about Zippy. This guy... Gotta remember to save more often. I missed this part of the story earlier. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on their servers, smearing all those cyber pukes. I would try to get into our secure systems. I made a nice living, had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of thing the Sims teach you. Everybody reaches for the dream life. So what went wrong? I found the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well, kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Oh yeah. Yeah, we know the rest of the story. Alright. I'm not gonna go over there and talk to Zippy because that was useless. He's not even here this time. Oh yeah, he's still there. Where does this go? It's us to exit. Didn't see this guy last time. This man has a tired, world-weary demeanor about him. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating, critical precision. Something about him. The lines about his eyes perhaps makes you suspect that he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lifts his cup of cheap soy calf as you approach. Let me guess, you're the freelancers the elders are paying to look into the murders around here. That's right. Who are you? Call me DeMargo. I'm not one of the Whampoans, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. DeMargo drains the last of his soy calf in a large gulp. what have you found so far? You're awfully curious for a random guy. Professional curiosity. I used to be with the New York Police Department as part of their how you pronounce that? Thaumaturgical Research Division. Thaumaturgical Research Division. Part of the CSI branch. Except I did the magical investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. So he's the magic blood spatter guy. DeMargo tosses the soy calf toward the nearby garbage can. It bounces around the rim and rolls inside. When I hear about shit like this happening, I keep my ear to the ground. Old habits, you know. Okay. My cats. So why aren't you investigating? Seems like you're more cut out for this job than I am. You're a long way from home, DeMargo. I'm gonna go with you're a long way from home. Sure I am, and I like it that way. I got burned out on all the blood, murder, and death. Been here since 54, working freelance. It's hard when you don't know anybody, but magical detectives are pretty thin on the ground, even in Hong Kong, so I do okay. Elder Ying asked me to look into the killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford my fee, though, so I took a pass. It's not just the money either. DeMargo shudders, folding his arms across his chest. You see that stuff day after day. You pay a price. It eats away at you. You know what it's like to feel all that sickness and anger every day? To be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death. Feel it going into your neck, pleading in the voice of a dead woman for her killer to spare you. These days I'd rather interrogate the living. Thanks. What are you talking about? That sounds awful. All things considered, that could be useful. I'm gonna go with that sounds awful. Awful. It's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare is what it is. One I couldn't wake up from for a long time. Sometimes you have to cut and run, start fresh. At least now I can pick my own jobs. I can read objects. It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up. Don't really know how I hold something. I could tell you what happened to it, who owned it, how it killed someone, if someone loved it or was afraid of it. Useful, but it'll tax your heart. It'll tax your heart and probably tax your wallet. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. I already told Ing, I didn't want any part of this. You want advice? I'll give you that. But I'm not getting drawn in further than that. So aside from that, is there anything else I can help you with? Tong was killed by a bladed weapon, a single strike to the base of his neck. That's a precision attack. Most knife fights end up with a lot of shallow cuts and blood over the victim and attacker alike. If Tong was killed by a single strike, he definitely wouldn't have seen it coming. And you can bet your last Nuyen that whoever killed him is highly skilled with a blade. That says to me that the attack is either a professional hitman or a practiced serial killer. Could be both. Assassins don't tend to be the most empathetic people. DeMargo considers this information for a moment before speaking again. Was the attack a thrust or a cut? It was a slash. Why? Hold on, I'll be right back.
Everything is blue, his pills, his hands, his
So he says, the wound was a thrust. Your attacker was using a knife of some kind. Anything over about 10 inches would be pretty hard to thrust with that kind of angle. The neck's too high for a longer blade. If it's a slash, you're looking at a sword or cleaver attack. Both of those are popular with the triads. They make an awful mess and send a message that they're not to be trifled with. What can you tell me about the Whampoans? What do you know about the murders? They started a couple of weeks ago. Eldegon was the first to go. That's right. That's when Inga asked if I could look into them. He was ripped apart, arms wrenched out of their sockets, skin flayed away with a razor-sharp knife. The rest have been the same. Whatever did it sure didn't care about it being a clean death. I want to say it's some kind of animal, but it also seems like it could be like a werewolf. Not really sure though. DeMargo lowers his voice, leaning in toward you so that only you can hear. The funny thing is, the Hong Kong police force was out here a few weeks before that, maybe a month ago tops. I know that doesn't seem like much, but the Whampoans don't usually let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it gets even stranger. The officers were loaded for a bear. Officers were loaded for bear too. Big guns and heavy armor with NBC seals, the works. They went into the parking garage near here, and there was some kind of gunfight. Never made it back out. When backup showed up, the Whampoans chased them away. With the cops, why would they let the cops in? That's exactly the kind of question you should be asking. And that the elders refused to answer when I asked. DeMargo shrugs. Should go and look for yourself if you want. Watch out though. The gang's taking up residence in there, dealing drugs and BTLs. They call themselves the Red Spear. Not too violent if you don't push them. But be careful what you say. What can you tell me about the Whampoans? I don't know much. Even though I've been here almost 2 years, I'm an outsider. They don't really accept anyone who's not as much of a tech nut as they are. I'm just a crazy mage that lives down the road. DeMargo pauses and looks off into the distance as he collects his thoughts. Ip's got some heavy-duty cyberware. Basically an enforcer for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem to set much policy. Ng is a shaman that worships machine spirits. It's all a bunch of hokum, if you ask me. Magic is magic. Whatever you want to call the source is fine by me, but don't ask me to believe in the great spirit of electronics. As for everybody else, they tend to be an okay bunch, a bit strange, but that's fringe culture for you. They scrounge tech, rebuild it, sell it off. Some of them even have their own auto fab shops. Their stuff's pretty high quality too. People from all over Asia come to shop here if they need something rare or unusual. Tight-knit little community, all things considered. Alright, see you later. Let me remember to save this time. Oh, I can't save. Go ahead and save. Just in case I start a fight again. Is there anything we can do for you, the Wyatt Art? Why did you let the Hong Kong police force into Whampoa Garden last month? Tong is taken aback by the question. For a long moment, he says nothing. When his composure does return, he speaks deliberately and with great care. We generally don't let the police into Whampoa Garden, it's true, but in this case we made an exception. The police were very polite and offered to look the other way over some of our deals with Loho Joa pirates. They also made it clear that if we refused, they might not only take an interest in our deals with the pirates, they would call in the Special Duties Unit and force their way in. We have repelled the Hong Kong police force before when they tried to push us around. We could probably drive off all the special duties unit as well, but the cost in blood would be too high. Ing shrugs non-committedly. Since they were hunting at Whampoan, we saw no reason to refuse their... Since they weren't hunting at Whampoan, we saw no reason to refuse their request. Who are they here for? They didn't say. We didn't ask. The HKPF isn't exactly forthcoming about their business, and we found that the less we know about their interests, the safer Whampoa Garden is. When you take an interest in the police, they return the favor. As far as I know, they went into the parking garage. There was a gunfight and the police never came out. More showed up a few hours later looking for their missing officers. We didn't let those in though. We just delivered what was left of the bodies to them. Why didn't you let them in? We were willing to allow the group of 4 in because they asked politely. When the reinforcements arrived, there were over 30 of them. We couldn't risk the risk of the police setting up camp on our streets. It would have been a circus and disrupted our lives and business. Why didn't you tell me about Elder Magpie disappearing? Why would we have? Her departure from us Whampoans isn't related to our investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just off sulking somewhere. Ing's tone is profoundly indifferent. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back despite our problems with her behavior. Her skills make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have the key? You could be responsible for the killings. Not mentioning her seems like a major oversight. Ing recoils, expression incredulous. Magpie? I doubt that very highly. Whatever character flaws she might have had, she was a pacifist when it came to physical violence. What evidence do you have of that? Well, for one, she really wanted me removed from the Council of Elders. She said I was too prone to violence. Ip snorts, shaking his head in annoyance. I guess she never saw all the times I kept the Red Dragon from robbing her blind. I agree. Magpie would not resort to murder over personal disputes. The entire idea is ridiculous. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have the key? Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community servers. We don't let anyone who's not one of the Whampoan elders in there. Why would you need to look around there? Nice, I got a charisma stat here. Listen, you wanted me to find a killer? I'm going to do that. I have to explore every possibility. Very well, take the key and look around. Just don't break anything or shut the servers off. Was there anything else? I'll be going now. Where's her shop exactly now that I have the key? The owner of His shop barely looks from his PDA while greeting you. His tone is one of immense boredom. Welcome to Mingvong Matrix Materials, aka MVMM. What can I get you? Not really sure what that does, but wow, drones are expensive. Maybe I can sell something. I need to make a little bit more money. Wing K Walk. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Quack Atelier, home of the finest clothing in Whampoan Garden. I am the owner, Master Tailor Wing K Walk. How may I serve you today? I didn't expect Whampoan Garden to have tailors in it. Many people don't. There's a mistaken impression that we Whampoans are only interested in technology and the Matrix. But even technologists need clothing, don't they? And many of us gravitate toward lines of work where added protection is required. I myself am a materials scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. What kind of material science? Fiber related, of course, primarily aramid fibers, graphene composites, and dilettantes. It affords me a certain unique perspective when designing clothing that is not only beautiful, but defensive as well. I specialize in high fashion body armor, similar to the kind crafted by Securitech or Fashion Island, but with a much more personal touch. Okay, show me what you have. Actually, looking at my character, same difference. Same difference. No real reason to buy anything new. Looking for a magpie shop though. This woman sports brilliantly hued hair that shifts colors, scintillating with every passing moment. She is powerfully built. a natural athlete, or is someone who works out a great deal. Notably, a large shotgun rests on an arcade cabinet next to her. Okay, so she must be a magical adept, a physical adept. She affords you a short glance as you approach. When she speaks, you note a peculiarly lyrical accent to her voice. So I can help you with there, friend. You're throwing me off my game, and I'm trying to beat my best score. Think War Europa? Haven't seen one of those cabinets in years. The woman's mouth twists up into a wry grin. Hey, me neither. Managed to find this one nearby accident. But I heard the music and I thought, hold on there, Rainbow. You know that tune. After a few moments, Rainbow's game is suddenly over. Her tank obliterated by a barrage of air-to-ground missiles. She hisses her breath in through Clint's teeth. Peace on your ma. A right robbery that was. Right then, Rainbow shakes her head again and turns to face you fully. You don't seem like them Whampoans. They're all a mite touched, yeah. Maybe you are too, but you don't advertise it like they do. What's your story? I'm looking into the murders that have been happening. That's some nasty work. Bodies hacked up, chunks bitten out of them. Make sure you're loaded for something big and ugly, that's for certain. Where are you from? I can't place your accent. Born and raised in Dublin, down on the banks of the Liffey. Spent most of my early life there working security on sacred spaces, you know, historical sites or undeveloped land. The green movement was big in those days. It was a bit like being a park ranger. For sure didn't beat it. For sure didn't it beat. But sure didn't it beat some dead-end desk job. Spent a lot of time around County Dublin and Wicklow. Always loved animals, and I found out being a ranger put me in close with them. It was a good time, yeah, making sure that budding new species like okay, I know what's what's causing my game to switch, and I will look into it after the stream. Nay, each usage just the word for water, which is how whiskey got its name. Whiskey is just the word for water, which is how whiskey got its name. Whiskey. It's a cannibal horse, basically. If you've never heard of an each whiskey, be glad it drags you into bogs to kill you. Sometimes people call them kelpies, on account of the water plants they pop out of. Anyway, as I was saying, problem was I started to develop this weed knack. Just a small thing. I keep magic from working. When I'm around, spells don't go, spirits fall apart. And the paracritters get real feisty, yeah? To make things worse, this was around the time Liam O'Connor through his coup informed Tir na Nog. That's classic Shadowrun. With all his fancy talk about elves and ancient magic, it was a bit scandalous to have a woman guarding ancient sites that wasn't just mundane, but also killed magic around her, so I got fired. You're older than Tir na Nog? Bang on. I don't look a day over 25, do I? Rainbow flexes one arm, grinning widely. Hey, I'm Irish, not one of them noggins. Pack of punters, the lot of them. Always going on about their ancestral lands and the glory of the past and all that bullshit. I saw them kick dozens of old Irish families off their land just because their ears weren't pointy enough, or they didn't meet some stupid arbitrary criteria of old nobility. It was that kind of thing that brought back the IRA, just like in the bad old days of the Troubles. Nice. Some classic, that's some classic Shadowrun lore. The skivers in the new tier didn't pay off. And the new tier didn't pay for the land they took. They just had a pack of bullies with guns. Rainbow scrunches her face up into a disgusted sneer and Mock spits at the ground. I've always been sympathetic to the little guy in a fight. They offered to pay for my help, so I said yes. Simple as that. So you became a terrorist? Yeah. Don't be so dramatic. They fixed me up with a cyber stitcher and gave me a lot of the kit I've got in me now in exchange for going overseas to work for them. Smuggling, running guns, making contacts in Europe. Same kind of shite all revolutionary groups do. Seeing as how my own fam got kicked out of their house, I was glad to do it. I still do work for them these days, but there's a lot less of it. Lady Day cracked down on dissidents, but good. What are you doing in Whampoan Garden? Me? I'm a bit of a big game hunter these days. I get into strange places. Look for some kind of paracritter I've not seen before, and then I put a bullet in it. Only the nasty ones. No point in hitting a talus cat or such. Only things like gargoyles, barguests, and whatnot. All the work I did with them in my youth does a good job of keeping me alive. So she's a meta critter hunter. I was out in Jakarta last year hunting one of them Indonesian vampires. You ever heard of them? Call them layak or penanggalans, depending on who you ask. Their heads and guts come out of the body cavity, and they fly around like a giant messy pile of pasta. Rainbow bares her teeth and pantomimes floating around. Took me a solid 2 months to track her down, but I did. Once the job was done, I asked myself, okay, Rainbow, where's the last best place in East Asia to find some action? So, Hong Kong it was. All the chi whatsits here mean a bigger concentration of odd critters than you'd usually find in a city. Been spending a lot of time down in the storm. Alright. Hold on, I'm gonna Alright, this may or may not have fixed my little keyboard jumping ahead situation, but I kind of know what it is, so I'll look into it a little more later. A magpie. She doesn't have a shop. Alright, I think we checked out everything here. Let's head back to the garage. Wait, what was this? Oh, this is Magpie's shop. Let's do a little investigation. Got this display case. The bin is full of assorted chips, peripherals, and add-on modules for cyberdecks. They don't seem to be arranged in any coherent fashion and are spread across the felt surface. Let's search through the bin. You sift through the display case, searching for anything that might prove interesting. Isabel peers past you into the bin as you search. That's interesting. There's a lot of storage memory, I/O handlers, and active memory in this bin. I'm not seeing any MPCP hardware, response increase chips, or anything relating to the hot shit decking Magpie was supposed to be into. In fact, you couldn't even build a full deck with this. Without the MPCP, it'd just be a glorified comlink. What do you think it means? And if I had to guess, I'd say somebody's cleaned her out. MPCP, response increase, biofeedback filters, and all that. They're easy to move, expensive, and highly illegal. All the rest of this crap is good, but it's nothing you can pick up at any electronic shop. You'd have to know what you're looking for, though. Only a good decker would know what they're seeing. Isabel gestures towards one of the other displays. A pair of small cyber decks sit inside the locked case. I guess so. But if she did that, why would she leave the complicated cyber decks? No. I think this was theft. Yeah, I definitely figured out what the problem is. The front of the server's case hangs open. The inner machinery quiet and without power. The clipboard is stuck to the side of a piece of duct tape. Papers filled with a long list of programs and other prices. A quick glance over the program sheets reveals names like Bugs, and Black Hammer. Undoubtedly, this was Magpie's attack program storage machine. Somebody's removed the drives and it sure wasn't Magpie. Here, look. Isabel gestures to the innards of the open server. Near the back, a solitary red light blinks. The main drives were disconnected properly, but it looks like she modded the server to have a backup drive with its own battery-based power supply. If it was Magpie, she'd have taken that too. Looks like she might have been kidnapped. Crap. This is a Fuji XB1000. And it looks like the battery power ran out a while ago. The XB1000s are constant write drives. They're dirt cheap and have a ton of capacity, but if they run out of power, they lose their data. We're not going to be able to get anything off the drive. Right, I figured out something. I figured out why my mouse was auto clicking. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fix that real quick. Shouldn't take long. Alright, then we should be good to go now.
His downstairs jeans, and now I'm covered in the colors, pull apart at the seams, and it's blue, and it's blue.
Alright, let's finish investigating the area, shall we? Magpie's desk. Magpie's desk is the kind of messy most people only associate with rats' nests, hoarders, and deckers, and also my brother. The surface of the desk is littered with cigarette butts, half-finished cans of soy calf, and scraps of electronics. A towering pile of empty instant noodle bowls sits next to it. Their sides are blazing with honest Wang's instant old-time lemon, and depict a line of top hat wearing caterpillars dancing with cranes. Sweet mother of God. Duncan recoils, a revolted expression spreading across his face. Deckers, man, I don't get it. Why the hell wouldn't you pick up after yourself if this is where you work? She was probably busy when you get... Isabel shrugs indifferently. She was probably busy. When you get in the zone, you have to keep at it. That's just how it goes. When you're in the Matrix, she probably had a timer in her deck to remind her to toggle back to meat space and eat. And that makes sense. When you jacked in, you don't feel any hunger. Duncan looks at you, giving you a pointed glare. If I ever have to get in the zone that bad, promise me you'll punch me in the head. This place is gross. Let's search the desk. You gingerly root around in the desk, doing your best to avoid the more disgusting piles and spills. It isn't easy. The desk drawers are stuffed to overflowing with receipts, cigarette packs, optical chips, and cables. Most of the contents are boring, useless, and disgusting. While searching one of the bottom drawers, however, a low-quality tin lockbox catches your eye. Someone has pried the latch off, leaving a ragged hole where a lock should be. The interior of the box has several sleeves for storing keycards, all of which are empty. A small note is taped to the interior of the box. Spare stockroom keys. The door is in the rear of Mrs. Young's restaurant. Don't lose these. Use only if I'm not available to open the stockroom. Stockroom, huh? So who broke the lockbox to get the keys out? Probably whoever cleaned out Magpie's equipment. I'm thinking you're right. Whoever tore the latch off the box was in a hurry. Any of the elders could have cracked the maglock without much trouble. And most regular Whampoans could too. This seems like somebody who was tossing the place and wanted to get in and out as fast as possible. If someone was after Magpie's gear, her stock room would be a gold mine. Alright, let's go search the bathroom for some reason. You search Magpie's bathroom. There's not much in here. A toothbrush, toilet paper, some hairpins, and a collection of cheap makeup. The combination bath shower unit, however, has minor flakes of dry reddish substance near the drain. Oh. Blood, dry blood. Prying open the drain cover, it looks like quite a bit of it was shed as well. Shit, maybe Magpie didn't take a trip after all. With that amount of blood, I'm guessing someone killed her quietly, then drained her body in the bath. It'd make it cleaner to relocate. This doesn't seem to match the killer other scenes though. I'm thinking there's a lot more going on with these murders than we were initially told. First, they don't even mention Magpie to us, and now it looks like she's been killed. Something's not right here. The Wyatt, alright. Let's not mention this to the elders. If they're hiding anything, they may start cleaning up their tracks better. So, do you think the elders are behind the death of Magpie and everything else that's been going on? Could be. Sorry about that. I got distracted by something. I guess we go to the garage. Well, now we gotta find Magpie's stock room. Where's her stock room? Nothing really going on here. Only other place to go is the garage. So I guess we'll just check out the garage. This time I'll be careful not to try to start a fight. That's far enough, guy. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod toward the gangsters behind her. This lot's our turf, and if you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You try and wander around on our turf, we're gonna have to air you out. Man, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No, you goddamn well can't wander around our turf. That's what I thought. Or I'm gonna skip through all this other stuff. There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Ewan also mentioned some elf woman with crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paracritters down there, devil rats and shit. Ah, okay, so that's Rainbow. Yes, I've gotten him recently. How do you know Tong's dead? Guess that's fair. It's pretty cold. Business is business. See you later. Alright, we're not going to try to snoop around, but we're going to go back to Rainbow and see if we can get that key. Or maybe Porter Lamb. That's Demergo. Rick away. Zippy. Let me talk to Zippy again real quick. Maybe something new has happened. Nope, nothing new. I need to get to the station. Where was that? Ah, here. We'll talk to Rainbow. Do you have a key to the storm drains? Of course I do. How else would I get down to look for strange creepy crawlies, eh? Why do you ask? Barry, I want to investigate something down there. Hey, sure. Watch your step down there, though. The drains are a mite bigger than people normally expect. Rainbow tosses you the key. Best of luck. See you later, Rainbow. I'm thinking about maybe stopping here. But actually, let's see where these drains go. Maybe we gotta go over here. Yeah, storm drain. What time is it? Probably could just keep going. Yeah, we'll go to check out the drain. What's this? The disgusting pile of stinking human remains smells strongly of blood and the first stages of decay. The arms, legs, and organs here are heaped together like stacked firewood, leaking blood and gore across the floor. The parts contained therein appear to have been sliced away from the parent body rather than torn or bitten. Judging by the clean edges of the cuts, the blade used to sever these parts was extremely sharp. This is a whole world of messed up to Wyatt Arrett. Isabel takes a moment to suppress Rich. You think the killer stashed these here? They're stacked. They've been organized. This is our killer, all right. Looking closer at the pile, one stands out. It's a severed forearm and is covered in tattoos. Words in Slavic language and shining lighthouse adorn the forearm. And ring-like images are inked on each finger. On the back of the hand, there's a skull inside a square. This arm belonged to a Vor. These are criminal tattoos. The lighthouse shows he tried to escape from prison or planned to. The words say, all police are dogs. That skull inside the square means he served a prison term for robbery once. Well, what's a Vor? A Vor is a thief. The Vori V Zakone is the name of the organization. Thieves in law. They have have strict codes and police their own, but they don't sever arms and leave them in a pile of gore. Despite the darkness, you see something glitter at the edge of the drain. Looking closer, it appears to be a necklace chain of some kind. It's become caught in the drain's gate, narrowly avoiding falling down the deep pit. Take the necklace. Lifting the necklace out of the drain, you turn it over in your hand. It's a simple silver pendant on a chain. The silver pendant depicts a long-tailed bird in flight, a magpie. Wow, what's going on down here? Mahjong table. As you round the corner, you hear voices speaking just loudly enough for you to make out coherent sentences. The speakers are definitely not local. They speak with a slight Slavic accent, and their clothing is heavily armored. Around them are a number of crates and boxes, all mostly filled. It looks like the group is packing up. Vasilisa. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow morning. He's gotten everything arranged with the port authority. We moved the goods to his warehouse. He'll handle loading them onto the ship. We can get paid right then and there. The orc spits on the ground. I'll be glad to be done with this filthy place. Galina. I will too. I hate having to hide in these damn drains. It stinks down here. I can hear the devil rats running down the hall walkways. It's a mess and it's disgraceful. We shouldn't have to put up with this bullshit. And Alexander still isn't back from his little trip. We'll have to leave him behind if he doesn't get back soon. I know, Galina. Until Audrey says we're in the clear from the triads, we can't be seen with the goods on the street. If they find us, we go back to Vladivostok and sausage casings. Those red dragon Mudaki don't screw around when it comes to protecting their turf. Who knows, maybe Alexander was stupid and they caught him. Either way, we'll have to lug this crap through the drains for a few clicks. Several boxes near the two women bear a distinctive label, a magpie in flight, the same emblem you saw stamped on Magpie's equipment in her shop. The orc woman sniffs the air suspiciously and her eyes dart toward the dark terminal you stand in. Before you have a chance to get out of sight, she locks eyes with you. The orc lifts her chin as she regards you, cracking her knuckles. What have we here? A curious little pest. Come, looking for things that don't concern him. What do we do with pests, Galina? Galina puts a hand on her shotgun's barrel. We break them, Vasilisa, and then we hammer a spike through each of their throats so anyone who sees their bodies knows not to meddle in our affairs. I suggest you stay where you are, pest. The Whampoan elders know I'm down here. You start a fight, you're going to have every drone and cyber junkie on these streets crawling up your ass. I'm not here to meddle in anything. I'm just looking for a serial killer. Well, you found some, friend. Us. You think you can just walk out of here finding us? Think again. Because I know what happened to Alexander. Or hope and goodwill. You're an idiot. Kill him. I guess anything I chose was gonna start a fight. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're gonna... We're gonna do this battle and then I'm probably gonna get out of here. Hopefully we can win. Missed. Gonna have to think carefully about this. What did I miss? That was a back shot. Damn, I hit my own man. Man, that destroyed my drone? This is going to be a hard fight. This guy's asleep. There's a good place to move for cover. This mage. I'm gonna try and take her out. There's still a guy over here. Not enough AP. You hit your own man. Ah. I didn't mean to restart the level though. Maybe I go back to my last save. Either or, I'm gonna end the stream here. How far back that? When was the last time I saved? I can't even remember. What? Here? All right. I gotta go through this quickly. I'm gonna go through all of this really quick. We go to the garage. Just trying to run through this again, and then I'm gonna save it and get out of here. Get something to eat. I will save it here, and then I'm gonna get out of here.